Okay, you guys, in this video, I'm going to give you the magic formula for answering the question, does this food, does this drink break a fast? There is a way for you to decide for yourself with any food and any drink. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you that formula coming up next. Okay, Dr. Mindy here, and I want to do a video for you guys on what the heck breaks a fast. This is probably the most common question we get across all of our platforms. So I want to kind of walk you through a process so that you can answer your own question, because some of you are asking, does coffee break a fast? Some of you are asking, does soda water break a fast? Does tea break a fast? Apple cider vinegar break a fast? We've heard so many different questions on this. And so I want to walk you through the thought process so you can test yourself and you know if this food is breaking the fast for you or not, okay? So let me start off by just saying this. Realize that we're all individual. So, and if you watch my videos enough, you're going to see this over and over again, that I'm helping you make smarter decisions for you and your health. And what might break a fast for me may not break a fast for you. So there's no like one size fits all in giving you an answer to, does coffee, apple cider vinegar, do all these things break a fast? But there is a really cool technique you can use to discover for yourself. So the first thing I want you to do is to realize that that everybody's individual, okay? Second thing, I find that when people get into the ketogenic lifestyle, that they're really excited about ketones. And ketones are cool. They do some really neat stuff in our body. But equally as important as measuring your ketones is knowing what your blood sugar is doing. So, and when we look at what's breaking a fast, the blood sugar is actually the most important thing to look at. So this is a Keto Mojo. This is the blood sugar reader that we like the best. We'll put the link in there for you guys. The strips that they come with are the cheapest, which is why, and the product itself is really great, which is one of the reasons we like it. So if you're going to dive into this lifestyle in general, you should have a blood sugar strips, and you should have ketone strips. So you want to have them accessible to both. But to measure if something breaks a fast, you really only need your blood sugar strips. So this is what it looks like. Let's start with coffee. You take a blood sugar reading before you drink the coffee. So you take the reading and then drink your coffee, however long you want to drink it. You could, if it takes you an hour to drink your coffee for an hour. If it takes you 5 minutes, drink it for 5. At the end of the time when you're done with that coffee, wait a half an hour and then take another blood sugar reading. And what you're looking for, this is the way I like to look at it, and then I'll tell you what I've heard other functional medicine doctors say. But I like to say, if your blood sugar a half an hour later, after you finish that cup of coffee, is higher than the original reading, then you've broken the fast. Because to me, that means if blood sugar went up after you drank the cup of coffee, it means that insulin's most likely going to follow. Okay, and the minute insulin comes up, now all the benefits you're looking for are going to be muted. So does the blood sugar go up? Second thing to ask yourself is, did it stay the same or did it go down? So I've done this test with cream in my coffee, and I find that actually when I have cream in the coffee, my blood sugar goes down. I then tested it on some different fats in general. For me, when my blood sugar, with any fat, my blood sugar tends to go down. So my body does well with fats. So take your measurement, drink your drink, half an hour later, take another measurement. If it goes up, then you've broken the fast. If it stays the same or goes down, it's most likely keeping you in a fasted state. Now, there are other practitioners out there have said that you have a 10-point range, and that's fine. You know, like I can sort of see that a little bit. Like they believe that if it doesn't go up over 10 points, then you're still in a fasted state. I can understand that the insulin increase would be very minimal, but for the way my brain works and the logic that I see this is that we want that blood sugar to stay the same, or we want it to drop, because that's what would probably happen if you were not drinking the cup of coffee. So we want the impact of the drink, the impact of the food. Gum is another one we hear a lot of, like, if I chew gum, does it break a fast? I don't know. I would take a blood sugar reading. I'd chew some gum for half an hour, and then I would, half an hour later, I'd spit it out. Half an hour later, I'd take another measurement, and I would see. You want it to have almost no impact on that blood sugar. That's the way I look at it. You could do it across the board on any food, any drink. You could do it across the board. So you can answer your own question by doing that formula, okay? Now, let me just throw out another thought, and that is, if you're one of those people that you've come to keto, you've come to fasting, and you're not getting the result that you want, then I'm a big believer you need to go back to the hardcore basics. You need to not drink your coffee in the morning. You need to, if you're fasting, to not have a cup of tea as you're fasting longer. That there's some reason that the body's not switching from sugar burning to fat burning. There's something that's not letting it switch over. And so you got to take all the variables out, go to the most basic understanding of keto, which is really keeping those carbs down, keeping the protein moderate, upping your good fat, and fasting at least 15 hours. Is that, to me, that's a real basic keto. And you got to not mess with any of those variables until you get into a state of ketosis, until you get fat adapted. So if you're struggling and you're like, oh, but I've been having apple cider vinegar every morning, I've been having my cup of coffee every morning, and I'm not getting the result that I want, then you might have to pull that out, even if the blood sugar reader says something different, okay? But that's a general formula. We've heard everything from, like I said, gum, coffee's the most important, cream in the coffee, no cream in the coffee. We've heard every question, Diet Coke. We've heard everything. So just test it the way I just showed you. Now, I had a consult this morning with a patient, and she was asking about that she did this with her coffee, and her blood sugar went up, but her ketones also went up. Now, this is a patient I've been working with for a while, and she's been fasting for a while. So she's been applying these techniques for a while. So we know she's fat adapted. We know she can get into ketosis. So in that scenario, go watch. I did a video on all the 4 different patterns of blood sugar and ketones. Go and watch that, because in this particular case where the blood sugar went up after the coffee, but the ketones also went up, there's a good chance that it kept her in a fasted state and she was dumping sugar from stored areas. So go watch. If that sounds confusing to you guys, or you're trying to understand it, go watch the video I did on the different patterns of blood sugar. There's 4 of them. So, okay, let me know if that helps, but I hope we cleared up the blood sugar question, and now you can test for yourself and you can be the one in control of your health. And when you have that wisdom, you can go anywhere with it. So, hope that helps.